Hey y'all, so I got a good one for you today. This is my take on shepherd's pie. It's easy, it's warm, it's delicious. I hope you love it. So we're going to start with a couple pounds of just russet potatoes. We're going to get them all peeled, get them chopped up. And you're going to put them in a big pot with some cold water first. And then you're just going to bring it up to it'll boil. A little salt, a little pepper. And then we're going to let them boil for about 30 minutes and mash them up with some butter. And then some milk, some salt and pepper. And you've got yummy, creamy mashed potatoes. And so now for the shepherd's pie. We're going to start with a little olive oil in this big Dutch oven, just over medium heat. I think I've got it up too high. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Get the smoke out of here. Sorry about that. And we're going to start with just a little bit of diced onion. I use a Vidalia onion, but you can use a white onion, a yellow onion, just whatever you like. It's fine. Get all that in there. And you're just going to want to cook this and sweat it around just for a couple minutes. Then I'm going to get the carrots in there. This is just one big carrot that I've peeled and chopped up kind of small. And we're just going to let this go for a couple minutes. We'll add in just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And just kind of stir that around, get everybody coated up. Now I'm going to add these mushrooms. This is about a half of a container of mushrooms. You don't have to add mushrooms to this. That's not traditional, but we just like them, so I just put them in there. But this is about a half a container of mushrooms just kind of chopped up, and these are baby portobellos. So I've just got a little bit of minced garlic here. And I just kind of squeeze it. It's about a teaspoon, maybe two. And just kind of get that worked around a little bit in there just till you smell it. You don't want to cook garlic too long. It'll scorch and it'll just smell bad and it won't taste as good. So I just cook this about 30 or 40 seconds and then kind of move my veggies all around to the side. Get them kind of moved around so that we can get the meat in there. So I'm just going to put this meat in there. This is about a pound, maybe a pound and a half of meat. And this is just what I had. This is not traditional either. I had some meatloaf mix left over, which is ground beef, pork, and veal. I usually just use ground beef, but this is what I had in the freezer, and this is what I thawed out. So this is what we're using for this. But you can totally just use ground beef. I've also used ground turkey in my shepherd's pie before, and it's really good too. This is just what I had. So this is, again, about a pound and a half of meat, and this is ground beef, pork, and veal, but you can certainly use ground beef. And we're just going to, I'd added some salt and pepper, and we're just going to kind of let it sit here and get brown for a couple minutes and get everything stirred around and get it all browned up. Y'all, wish you could smell this. This already smells so good. And we hadn't even added all the good stuff yet. And I'm actually cooking dinner tonight for us and for a friend of mine that has been had some sickness, and so this is probably more than what I usually make, but this is going to make a big 9x13 dish. But you'll see in a minute I'm going to split this in half. But this makes quite a bit. So this is just a little bit of flour. Oh, but wait, what did I do? Okay. So this is just a little bit of flour, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons, and you're just going to put that in there. Don't drain your meat or anything, because this is what's going to help make your kind of gravy in the shepherd's pie. So you're just going to stir this around for a minute or so and just kind of cook the flour taste out of it. Okay, so now I've got some some dried rosemary and some dried thyme, about a teaspoon or so of each. Just going to kind of put that in there and get that going. And this is tomato paste. You're going to use maybe 2 teaspoons of this. And then this is some Worcestershire sauce, about a teaspoon or so, maybe 2. Get that tomato paste and that sauce stirred around in there. Get everybody coated. And now we're going to put in about a cup or so of, this is beef broth. You can use chicken broth or veggie broth, whatever you like. I've got about a cup of beef broth here. And now we're getting the gravy. See that? Look at that, y'all. Y'all, I'm telling you what, this stuff is so good. I love making this. Look at that. This is going to be delicious. Okay, so now we're going to add about a can of corn. And I did drain this corn because I don't want the corn liquid in there. And then I've got just about a half a cup or so of frozen peas. You don't need to defrost them or anything. You just put them in there. Look how pretty, y'all. I love this. Just get everybody stirred around. I could totally just eat it like this. So we're just going to let that simmer together for a couple minutes, and look how thick and how yummy. Again, I could totally just eat it like this. Just put it in a bowl and I'm happy. But wait, it gets better. I'm going to show you. So I told y'all, usually I put it in a 9 by 13 dish, but because I'm taking dinner to a friend and his wife tonight, I'm going to use these 2 8 by 8 dishes. Yes, they're full. It's okay. That way they can throw them away, and so can I. I did spray these so that nothing would stick, and I'm just going to kind of scoop a little bit into each one just to get them even. So you just want to kind of keep alternating scoopfuls back and forth, again, just so you get the same amount into each pie. And you just want to make sure you get it all out and get all of that goodness into each pie. And make sure it's even and kind of all in one layer. You don't want any big humps anywhere. Gotta get it all here. There we go. Now, everybody's even. Look how pretty and yummy. Okay, so y'all remembered the mashed potatoes that we made a while ago? Okay. So get your mashed potatoes, and here's what we're going to do with this. And this is where it gets yummy. Or more yummy. Yep, we're going to take these mashed potatoes and we're going to put them on top. Yeah, we are. Yum. So I'm just going to kind of put some dollops of mashed potatoes on this pie. And then we're going to put some dollops of mashed potatoes on this pie. You could totally make this and freeze it too. I wouldn't bake it yet, just put it together and then just wrap it real good with foil and then just put one in the freezer and cook one now. So I'm just going to take my little spatula and spread my mashed potatoes around. Just making sure that everything's covered. Kind of go all the way to the edge of the pan so that everything's covered up. You don't want any filling peeking out. Let me get a little bit more mashed potato for this edge over here. There we go. And we're going to do this one the same way. Just get everybody covered up with a blanket of mashed potatoes. That just sounds warm and delightful, doesn't it? A blanket of mashed potatoes. Get just a little bit more for this corner. There we go. And you can totally just put it in the oven like this, but I do a little something extra to mine. We're going to top it with just a little bit of this Parmesan cheese, but at my house we call it shaky cheese. So we're going to put some shaky cheese on top. Just a little dust. I just like it. It adds a good salty finish and it just makes it brown a little bit better. My kids like shaky cheese. Y'all look how pretty. So we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until it's all brown and bubbly. Y'all check this out. Look at the gravy coming up through the mashed potatoes. Yum. Look at that. I love it. And I did set this on a rimmed baking sheet just because it will boil over and make a big mess. So I just always put it on a sheet. Now I'm going to get one of them wrapped up for my friend for their supper tonight. And I'm going to take 2 pieces of aluminum foil and just kind of crisscross them over top of each other. And we're going to set one of these pies down in the middle of that. Look, yum. We're just going to get this guy all covered up. This is why I like to crisscross the aluminum foil, is you don't have to lift that pan up again. We're just going to get him all covered up. And now he's ready to go. Take it to my friend's house for their supper tonight, along with some yummy biscuits. And here's this one. Oh my goodness. Y'all, look at that. All those vegetables, those mashed potatoes, that yummy gravy. Yum. Get all this goodness here on my plate. I am serving this with a biscuit too. I'll link that recipe down below. Y'all look at that. It's warm, it's yummy, it's cold outside. This is perfect. Y'all go make you some of this. Oh, this is my favorite. I love it. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this shepherd's pie. Let me know if you make it in the comments. I love y'all. See you next time.